Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play the Stanley Parable. This is a unique game. It's a game that can really get under your skin, especially the more you play it. It's a game about choice, the kind you can make, and perhaps even the kinds that you can't make. The game has many different outcomes depending on the choices that you make, and it is absolutely worth it to play through it multiple times. That said, I have done so. And as a result, you may see things in my playthrough that you might not necessarily see when you first open up the game. That's because this game actually adjusts itself to create a unique experience each time you play it. As such, there are things that I cannot showcase. There are things that will be unique to only the time that I played it that one time. There are other things that I cannot showcase simply because it would be very difficult to showcase them, and I will explain more on that when we get to it. All of that aside, I'm going to let the game introduce itself. Shall we?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-lifting, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Very strange indeed. Also, that narrator? He'll be with us through the rest of the game. Isn't he a wonderful, comforting presence? And he's very helpful too. He tells you exactly what you need to do to make the story progress.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sounds about right. Hey, that door closed. There is also an achievement with door 430. Click on it 5 times. I cannot showcase this achievement, or the sequence that leads into it, as I've already accomplished this, and the game will not allow me to do it again. But we may as well follow what the narrator tells us to do. There really is no one here. I can't open any doors. It's all empty. Abandoned. Very strange. Anyone in here? No?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, okay. So you may have noticed, anytime you make any kind of choice, or you move past a certain point, the door will close behind you. Let's do what he says for now. The meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, fair enough. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Ongoing, I love the amount of detail that they put into the background here. Like, there's a lot here that you could easily overlook. And it's ultimately not really all that important, but it adds to the snark of this game. Oh hey, there's the broom closet. Is Chris in there?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Well, maybe just a minute. I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Maybe... Can I take anything? It looks very interesting.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Well, but... I like it here, though. And it looks like there's stuff to do.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
But I like it here. I mean, it's nice and enclosed.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing?
Well,
Why?
sort of.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, because it reminds me of my office, a nice, safe, enclosed space. With everything that's going on, really, this makes the most sense.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
Yeah.
If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me, because literally, this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
But I mean, it showed up on the whiteboard and everything.
Maybe to you, this is somehow its own branching path.
Maybe
when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
Yes, just like that.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oh, did you get the broom closet ending?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
That was kind of mean and uncalled for, dude.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now.
I'm in a broom closet?
You're dead.
Oh.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Not exactly.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Well...
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
If you insist.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Okay. Oh, look, a broom closet.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Boy, he sure gets sulky if you don't do what he wants you to. Well, he is just trying to help us after all.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Upstairs. Ooh. Oh, this is fancy. Oh, hey. Oh, it's locked. The washroom is locked. Huh. There really is no one here. I wonder. That door is also locked. But this office is open.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845, huh? Well, that's really helpful. I was thinking maybe we'd have to start digging through a desk or something, but, alright. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Oh.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Well, this is disconcerting. What's going on? Where am I going? Quite frankly,
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
This really is very strange. And now we can't go back up. Where are we?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
What? Escape? I don't trust that. Besides which, the narrator told us to go this way. That's probably the right way to go. It's dark. There's nothing else to do here, except push the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know. What is all of this? Now, obviously, I do already know that, but Stanley doesn't. We have to play the role.
Monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
The occasional monitor seems to be covered with text. Is that a catwalk? Probably not important. Otherwise, the narrator would have mentioned it. This is very strange.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This is terrible. Who could do such a thing? I feel so manipulated. Mind controls idle. Waiting input. I wonder. Well, we need to turn this off. This whole facility needs to be shut down. The narrator said so. Did I break it? Game? I see... something.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This is beautiful. A very strange sort of door. Very, very specific location, and looks like it's cut out of a completely different game. But whatever.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a wonderful ending. Beautiful, poetic, interesting, full of intrigue, and so many questions. And here we are, back in Stanley's office. Yes, that's right. This game is not about one ending, but about answering as many of those questions as we possibly can. I'm actually going to cut the video here, but I will see you next time where we start exploring some of the various puzzles that have still yet to be unearthed. Maybe we can find out more about this facility, find out what exactly has been going on, and where did all of the other co-workers go? Hope to see you then!